It's 5 p.m.
All right, quiet on the set.
Polkas After Dark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start the party.
Broadcasting around the world. This is your number one internet station. The music you love right here, right now. It's another live broadcast. Special edition. Now your host, Rob.
Hey, that's right, folks. Good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is. It's all good because you guys are here with us and we're here with you on Polkas After Dark, the Sunday afternoon edition, as we call it. And we thank you guys so much for tuning us in here today, not only on Facebook, but also on our YouTube channel. Hey, we've got a great broadcast in store today. You guys are saying, well, where's Jerry? Jerry and her daughter were upstairs working on some stuff, her little shop office that she has upstairs for making shirts and so on. And they are still upstairs working. So as soon as Jerry gets a chance to take a break, she will stop in and say hello. And maybe we'll even get Justy to say hi, too. Hey, folks, let's see. We have Sebastian, Michael's son. Sebastian Sebas Pucowski. He's going to be joining us today in just a little while for an interview right here. And here is Sebas on a vocal with Michael Costa in the beat. And here's one called Sweet Bippy Polka.
Look her over.
Hey, the man on bass, the man on vocals, that's Sebastian Pucowski, and he's going to be joining us in just a little while right here for an interview. Polkas After Dark. Hey, we want to say hello to some folks that are just tuning in. Cindy Yash is here. Helena Garbach, welcome. Justin Yurkowski, he is here with us. It looks like Brenda Olszewski. Kenny Brandt is here. Jean Soika, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Chris and Sandy Curtis, they're here. It looks also like Ms. Gail Wojtowicz has joined us, of course. Jill Cherniak is here front and center. Linda Petrzeski, all the way from Niagara Falls. I just love saying that, Linda P. Let's see here. Richie Coyce has joined us. Welcome, Richie. Also, Emily Mitek, hello to you. It looks like Chris Tansky is here. Boy, we've got a nail biter on the screen as we just happen to take a peek and watch over to the big screen there for the TV and see what's happening with Bill's Country there. Hey, also, we're going to say hello to Sydney. Cindy Yasinski is here. Hello to you. And also, Jerry is watching upstairs, so hello to Jerry. Everybody's going to probably be popping on saying some hellos to her. Hey, let's do one more tune here before we switch the tempo and get Sebas on the vocal for a waltz. But right now, hey, how about let's bring up Michael Costa in the beat, a little bit of Without You featuring Courtney on the vocal. Good afternoon to Alice Fischler. She says, good evening, everybody. Hey, we've got some pretty good snow coming down here in Western New York. If you guys are watching the game, you've probably seen that already. Yeah, it's supposed to be a very, very fun week.
Every time I look into the mirror, I swear that I don't see the things you do. You say it couldn't be any clearer. All I can see is me without you. Without you trying to change me, without you trying to take me, turn me into someone you once knew. Without you trying to make me, without you trying to break me, all I can see is me without you.
Hey, good evening to Brother Tommy down there in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Tommy Hoke, he's here with us. Also, Lois Alcori, hello to you, as well as Chris Ebel. He's tuned in.
You slipped that little ring around my finger. You smiled and said your wilder days are through. I've got a real bad case of rambling fever. All I can see is me without you. Without you trying to change me, without you trying to take me, turn me into someone you once knew. Without you trying to make me, without you trying to break me, all I can see is me without you. Without you trying to change me, without you trying to take me, turn me into someone you once knew. Without you trying to make me, without you trying to break me, all I can see is me without you.
Hey, it's a little bit of Without You. Hey, let's slow it down and get a real pretty waltz. Here's Sebas. Mr. Paul Butzek is in the house. Hello to you, Sophie Irene. Hey, congratulations on your new arrival out there. I bet you are happier than heck.
Ja na tym świecie mam smutne życie, nikogo nie mam. Zgubiłem mamę, zgubiłem tatę, zostałem ja sam. Byłem młodziutki, bardzo malutki, zmarła mamusia. I mnie biedotę, małą sierotę chowała busia. Miałem 2 lata, jak umarł tata, jestem w żałobie. Tatuś z mamusią i teraz puszą, śpią sobie w grobie. Ja na tym świecie mam smutne życie, jestem biedota. Zgubiłem mamę, zgubiłem tatę, jestem sierota.
Sebas on the vocal. What a fantastic vocalist he is. Love the pronunciation of his Polish. And we are going to be talking with him in a little less than 15 minutes, I'm sure, as we get him on the phone. Hey, folks, you're tuned to Polkas After Dark. We're here on Saturday nights from 7 to 9 p.m., as it says right up there. And also on Sunday afternoons from 5 to 7 p.m. We're going to take this opportunity to say hello to Steve and Dwyer. Hello to you. Also to Liz and Rick up in Canada. They said, hi, Robin, from snowy Canada. Well, guess what? We're just in the same boat, kid. Probably getting the same front that's coming in. We're also going to say hi to Annette Bellis. She is here. Tommy Wunderlich is watching. Tommy, we want to say hello to you and Felicia. Great job on your shows. Here we go on Mondays on Polish Newcastle Radio. We catch you guys whenever we can there on at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're also going to say hi to Pete Chacho. He's here this evening. Also, Audrey Pelchinski. Hello to you. And let's go ahead and get some more polka music up here right now. Why don't we? How about a tune by Lenny Gomolka and Chicago Push off of the brand new recording?
By herself, never had the nerve to take a chance. So let the little girl dance.
Let the little girl dance.
Let the little girl dance.
Let the little girl dance. She never danced before, so let her on the floor.
Let the little girl dance.
Let the little girl dance. Let the little girl dance. She wants to give it a try, so let the little girl dance. Little wallflower on the shelf, standing by herself. Never had the nerve to take a chance. So let the little girl through.
Let the little girl.
She wants to pass by you.
Let the little girl.
Buddy, can't you see?
Let the little girl.
She wants to dance with me.
Let the little girl dance.
Little wallflower on the shelf, standing
girl through. She wants to dance by you, but can't you see? She wants to dance with me. Little old flower on the shelf, standing by herself. Never had the nerve to take a chance. So let the little girl dance. Let the little girl dance. She'll never dance before, so let her on the floor.
Little wallflower on the shelf, standing by herself. Never had the nerve to take a chance. Let the little girl dance.
Hey, how about a twin spin? Here's a little bit of Good Time Charlie polka. Good evening, right here from Polkas After Dark in snowy downtown Derby.
Ja jestem kawaler młody, nie brak mi całej urody, ale mam głos, ten ładny nos i tylko mam krzywe nogi. Ale mam głos, ten ładny nos i tylko mam krzywe nogi. Spotkałem ją w kabarecie i licznie usiąń to wietrze. Było to dwie i liśmy się, później wypiliśmy trzeci. Było to dwie i liśmy się, później wypiliśmy trzeci. Ona tam gada i kręci, gapiłem, że na nią świeci. Ja podskoczy, ślicznie oczy, błyszcz cały jak diamenty. Ja podskoczy, ślicznie oczy, błyszcz cały jak diamenty. Wszystko co miałem straciłem, a miłość nie otrzymałem. Obiecała, a nie dała, tylko tak woła, gdzie mama. Obiecała, a nie dała, tylko tak woła, gdzie mama.
Yeah, hey, let's go ahead and bring up a tune by John Gurra and Gurrale. Here's one called With This Ring Polka. Hello to Veronica Costa, Mary Lou Cerniak, Helen Boback is here, Tom Kowalski, welcome.
A little boy waits by his wagon for the one he spent his whole 50-cent allowance on. He holds a ring made of plastic colored glue and says this ring will show you how much I love you. With this ring our love will last forever. It will prove our love can never die. Even when for you and I. A boy and a girl, just in their senior year, holding hands and wanting to be near. Both are firm in their thoughts on love and life with this ring. Someday you will become my wife. With this ring, our love will last forever. It will prove our love can never die. Even when we've both gone up to heaven, this ring will stand for you and I. A proud smile, a young girl in white satin walks slowly up the aisle. He takes her hand in his, and proudly he does say, honey, with this ring, you are mine, all mine today. With this ring, our love will last forever. It will prove our love can never die. Even when we both gone up to heaven, this ring will stand for you and I. An old man kneels by a casket. His eyes are filled with tears. He looks at the woman he's lived with all those years. He slips a ring on her finger, and softly he does say, honey, with this ring, the angels carry you away. With this ring, our love will last forever. It will prove our love can never die. Both gone up to heaven, this ring will stand for you and I.
Yes, of course, that's Tommy Wunderlich on the vocal with John Gura and Gorale up in Canada way. Hey, folks, let's go ahead and get another tune up here before we get a hold of Sebas. That was my indicator to make sure I know to give him a call, and of course I do know that right now. Hey, let's go ahead and bring up another one featuring Sebastian on the vocal. Here's one called Poor Girl Polka. I stand corrected. It is Poor Girl. Here's Michael Costin the beat.
Na kogo tylko czekasz? Na kogo powiedz droga? Nie powiem Jasieńku, nie powiem Jasieńku, nie powiem Jasieńku, komu podam. Nie powiem Jasieńku, nie powiem Jasieńku, nie powiem Jasieńku.
Hey, hello to Jackie Pucowski. She's here. Bev Ceremit, welcome to Polkas After Dark. Joe Stefanoff, he's here. Let's see. We've got Al Yash. And, of course, Veronica and Michael Costa. They're tuned in this afternoon. Tracy Meyer, we're going to say hi to you. Also, Ray Bajewick Jr., Fred Gordon in Buffalo, snowy Buffalo. He's tuned in as well. Also with Cheryl Ward Weiler. Well, that's Sebas. I was right. Not 100% all the time, but at least I try to get there. Hey, I've got a couple of things that I want to do here real quick. I see an error that I made, so I have to make a quick correction. And I also want to thank Mr. Michael Pucowski. He says, hey, do you like misspelling our last name? And I said, yeah, I guess I kind of do. I sent out the email with spell correct. And boy, I'll tell you what, I hate spell check and the automatic correction. But, I guess what can you do with some of these things? Hey, folks, you're tuned to Polkas After Dark. We do appreciate it each and every weekend that you are here. And again, I am just making a quick adjustment. Oh, boy. It's not even allowing me to do that quick adjustment. So I think I'm just going to have to go ahead and run with this anyhow. Hey, folks, we are fortunate to have on our live line with us Mr. Sebas, and he is here right now. Sebas, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but very, very quiet.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't usually talk loud when I'm on the phone, but
that'll work for me.
I am going to be quiet, so I'm going to let you talk, which is going to be the reason why you're here visiting today. Hey, Sebas, once again, thanks a lot for joining us here, Polkas After Dark, on our broadcast link, also Facebook Live and YouTube. I'm going to start out like I do every other interview, and I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. First of all, how old were you when you heard your first polka, Sebas?
First of all, Robin, I'd like to say thank you for having me on. It's really an honor to be on with you and talking to you for a while. Can't wait. I heard my first polka, the one that I can remember. It wasn't early. I didn't start enjoying polkas until I was about 7, 8, 9 in that price range. So,
okay.
I remember my grandma getting my dad John Guda's Butterfly, and that was one of the first memorable polkas that I can remember hearing for the first time. And then I started getting into it a little bit more and more, and started getting interested, but it was mainly just through my dad. We would take car rides anywhere, and he would just throw on a new polka CD every time, and I really started listening to it a lot more when I was like 9 or 10, and then it took off after there.
Now, a little birdie told me that you picked up the acoustic guitar for the very first time. That was your first instrument, actually, not bass. But at 8 years old.
No, not the bass. When I was 8 years old, well, actually, when I was 5 years old, I tried learning the acoustic guitar. I did like lessons for a little bit, and it was just not clicking with me. It was too difficult. I was learning how to read music, and I was only 5 years old. It was a lot. It was, very intimidating. So took a break from it, but still loved music. So when I was 8 years old, my parents decided it would be time to maybe give it a try again. So we got a guy from my church who gives guitar lessons, and he started coming over to my house, and he would give me lessons. And he was like, "Hey, you should start playing with us at church." So then that's how I really got started. I was 8 years old, and I started playing with my church every Sunday after CCD. I'd play the mass, and that's how it really started for me.
Oh, excellent. That is great. Now, you dabble with a lot of different instruments, not only bass, but what other instruments do you kind of like to fiddle with?
Yeah, so guitar, of course, bass. I like fooling around with piano because I feel like everything that's ever been written is just there, so it makes total sense. I goof around with like trumpet, accordion, drums, concertina. Basically anything that's playable, I'm going to try and find a way to maneuver my way around it and try and play at least like a song or two. Just be able to do that for a little. I enjoy it. It's fun.
And you are self-taught with no lessons with the conversation that I had with you over in Ohio in Independence. And boy, I'll tell you what, again, I mentioned this to Nick last week and to all the guys and gals. As a matter of fact, you guys did a fantastic job bringing in the new year with PCM, Polka Country Musicians. The Beat 3.0 was live on the stage. And what a presentation you guys did. It was phenomenal. It really, really was, and we thank you guys for doing that. Hey, also, let me take a look-see here. I'm going through some other notes. Is there a band right now that you haven't played with, but you have the desire to? And it could be...
Does it have to be a band from today?
No, as a matter of fact, I was just going to say it could be a past or present band.
And we're talking polka band?
Yes, sir.
Oh boy, where do I start? Dynatones. Like I look up to Jimmy Johnson, I think, so much, and me and Alex and Nick are always like, Nick mentioned this last week, but we're always turning on that 1997 Frankenmuth video, and we're just studying, Robin. It's unreal. So probably the Dynatones. I probably would love to do that. Be able to even. I remember getting to play with you one time, and you playing 2 songs. That was like a dream come true. It was like, oh my goodness, Robin Pegg is playing drums right now.
I had a lot of fun with you guys. Sick. I had a lot of fun. Really, really.
Yeah, so I'd probably say the Dynatones or Lenny.
Or Lenny. Now, you actually did. Have you filled in with Lenny in the past?
Yeah, I when I was younger, what I would do was we would practice a few songs. Me and my dad, we would sit in the basement for like a day, and he would ask me to learn a few songs on bass, and I'd sit and learn them, and so that would happen, and we would plan to play like 2 songs. This would it was pretty serious. Like my dad would, he would really get on top of me to learn it, and I would get frustrated and stuff, but then I would go to the dance and I'd be prepared and ready to go and ask Lenny, can I play with you? And it would be just amazing to just go up there and have so much fun, just hoping one day I could maybe get a chance. But yeah, so through the years I've been asked to come up and play a few songs with a few bands here and there at festivals and dances and whatnot. The Boys a lot, John Gouda, The News, you name it, like a band in the last 5-6 years, I've probably sat in with like a song, just trying to get any sort of action to play.
Now, how about this? The band that you first started out playing with was not The Beat. That's not your first band. Who was the first real polka band that you kind of settled down with for a while?
Right. So the USPA Pro-Am Jam was where I met Zach, Matt Martin, Zach Pucowski, and I had known Alex before, so we started that band, Polka Method. So we were in that. I joined that when I was about 12 or 13 years old, I think.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun, just being able to come up to New York to Alex's house, and we'd all have a practice, and we didn't know many songs, but we would really try and nail the songs that we knew, for that practice.
Gotcha. And
so Polka Method was a lot of fun, and I had a great time with that band.
How did the band?
So much fun, so many good memories made with those guys.
How did the band Polka Method even get its name?
I have no clue. I remember it was Matt Martin made a group chat, and he was he was just like, why don't we just call ourselves Polka Method? And that was really that. I don't know what any of the meaning was behind it. Sure, Matt could tell you, but I have no clue.
Yeah, gotcha. Do you have a personal favorite genre of music that you listen to when you're not focused on polkas?
Yeah, so typically, me being part of the Beat, I do listen mostly. I find myself listening to the Beatles because it never gets old.
Mm-hmm.
So probably classic rock, I like 80s music a lot. You just think, you pick up songs every now and then, and driving with Costa on the road, he'll introduce you to new albums, new songs every ride. I've learned so many new things from Mike along the way, just from being in his band for a few years and just riding on the road. He showed us so many new songs and increased my depth of music understanding by a lot. He's the man. He's the man.
Now, somebody also told me, they shared with me, that because you're a Beatles fan, you got to see Paul McCartney live. Where was that?
Oh my gosh. The most incredible night of my life. That was in MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where the Giants and Jets play. So I remember we were in Arizona, and I came home early because I had to go to school. So everyone was there. And I remember waking up one morning while I was in Arizona and seeing that Paul McCartney just announced that he was going to go back on tour, in America. I was like, Dad, we got to go to this. Who knows how much longer he's got? Paul McCartney's my hero. So yeah. I just love that guy to bits and pieces. That he's the only reason I ever learned bass in the first place. Wow. So it was me, Alex, Jeff, my dad, Carla, Mike, and Ronnie, because I just feel like those are the people that I would want to enjoy such a memorable moment with, because they're all basically like my family. So it was really special to be able to see that concert with all the people that know how much Paul McCartney means to me and how much I know that he means to them as well. So it was really fun. I just had a blast that night. Unforgettable night. I don't think I'll ever see a better concert in my life. And yes, I may be a little biased, but it is what it is.
No, that's perfect, actually. Did you go for a run before the interview? Because it sounds like your dogs are barking.
Yeah, Emma's barking.
Well, tell Emma we said hey. Also,
Robin says hey, Emma.
We have another gentleman that is tuned in that I just became friends with today on Facebook, and I got a chance to listen to something that you guys had put together that you threw on Facebook, some tracks. Tell us a little bit about Mr. Stephen Dwyer, why don't you?
One more time? I'm sorry. Can I hear that one more time?
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Stephen Dwyer. I understand that you laid down some tracks. I was able to catch a little bit of that on Facebook today.
Yeah. So Stephen's one of my friends at school, and he's another one of I would consider him a pretty special friend to me, because he understands music a lot, and we can really connect with that. So he likes singing harmonies, and I love singing harmonies. So I was like, hey, let me just teach him a Beatles song, and then record it, and then have two different voices singing it instead of me harmonizing to myself, because then that just sounds plain and boring. You like hearing the I guess the contrast of someone else's voice with you. So he's a really talented guy.
Yeah.
One of my good friends at college. Love the guy.
Excellent.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, and it sounded like you guys had a lot of fun putting that together too.
Oh my God, the most fun time. We just sat in my room and we nailed out the parts and just sat in the corner of my room recording vocals over and over again, and we got it, and we were so happy with it. And it was just something to do, we weren't locked in on any phones or nothing. We were just sitting there enjoying the music, and that's all it's about. It was a lot of fun.
Now, how do you guys get together and practice with the beat? Because you guys are all scattered a little bit, and, Steven's out in Ohio. Nick now, of course, is out in Ohio. So how do you guys really get together to practice?
Well, if I'm being honest, we really don't practice all together that much. We practice mostly in when we first joined the band, or when I first joined the band. I remember because I was living 15 minutes from Mike's house at the time. So I would go up to Mike's house, and he would practice with me and really made sure I got everything right. But then when Nick and Alex joined, I think we didn't have that many practices. I mean, it was just a few practices to make sure that we knew what was going on. But then from there, I mean, if there's a new song, we're just kind of expected to learn it, or we'll just try it out before the job. A lot of the times, if we're trying out a new song, live, it's probably the first time we're doing it ever. So
wow,
that's a fun fact. But now me and Alex, being so close to Alex with college, I only live like 10 minutes away from him. So me and Alex are getting together and we practice all the time now. Now it's like, oh my gosh, I can't, like, I feel like we've gotten so tight since then. I love it. It's awesome. I enjoy practicing with Al a lot. So we practice every week. That's
beautiful. And I understand too that you have a little bit of a new interest. You're working out at the gym, aren't you?
That's funny. Yes, I am. I've been going for a little bit over a month now. Been a lot of fun.
Good for you. Yeah, Jerry and I decided, after the first of the year, we were going to get cracking, and we went to the gym. I was on the treadmill for about 35 minutes last week, Saturday morning. And she walks by me and she says, "Weren't you going to turn it on?" And I said, "Well, I don't know if I want to do that, but."
That's funny, Rob. That's
I'm
a good
sorry.
story.
I'm sorry.
But good for you, Rob.
I have to be a jokester, as you already know. Hey, also, tell me a little bit about the most memorable gig that you have played, Sebas. Do you have one in particular?
Is there one in particular? One that stands out immediately for me has to be the first gig of the Beat 3.0 in Parma, Ohio. That was the most memorable job, I think, for me. That was the first job back after COVID. That was the first time that group of guys had played together live, which was very special. And that was the first time we got to play Legends Medley and Rosie the Painter live, and seeing the crowd hear it for the first time, even though we knew about the medley for months. No one else did. So seeing everyone's reaction to it and getting excited, seeing all the song changes and the crazy breaks we're doing, really, that was just such a fun, was full of just hyped up energy. It's just amazing. So I would say that one probably stands out the most. But also my first job with the Beat at my dad's dance in September of 2019. That one was just special for me. That one was like, I'd been working hard and Mike gave me a chance, and that one will forever be solidified in my heart. I love that job with all my heart. It was
Gotcha.
Good.
Now, how about the largest crowd that you've ever performed for? Tell me a little bit about that.
I'd probably say Pulaski would probably have to be the largest crowd that we've performed in. And that's a scary feeling, but once you get up there and you start playing and you're looking around and you're locking in with Al, Nick, Mike, and Steve and Kevin, unreal.
Yeah.
Don't even matter who's there. You're playing, you're having fun, everyone's having fun, smiling. It's a good time.
Yeah, I hear you. And it's kind of funny because I know that you've recorded a couple of CDs now with the Beat. Tell me, what was your favorite recording session? Was it the latest one? Was it the one prior?
Right. So recording in the studio, now that was probably the most unforgettable experience so far in this polka journey, because that's something, as a kid wanting to be a musician, that's just something you want to do. You want to go in the studio, you want to make a nice album, you want you want to hear something being played on a radio and be like, oh, that's me. So it was very special for us to go into the studio. I'd say the reason was my favorite to record. I really enjoy Greatest Hits and the Misses so much, and I enjoyed going back in the studio. But the reason was just so special because never been in a studio before.
Yeah.
First time that Mike really gave us a chance to try new things, make our own arrangements, do our own thing. Like Mike was at the studio, but he was just kind of there, he let us have our space. He let us do what we wanted to do, kind of thing. So that was really special. And working on the Beatles medley was probably the most memorable thing out of the whole recording. I remember just going through that piece by piece and hearing how it started out versus what it became. It's always like a heartwarming moment to know how far it came from almost nothing.
Yeah, gotcha.
The studio is just countless hours of fun. Just loved going there every weekend with Mike and just sitting there learning, absorbing. It was just great.
Beautiful. And also, I've got to hand it to Mike and Steve. They've been together for a long time. They're very unique as far as their playing with a lot of triplets. Everything is just so tight. They are, I laughed and I tell these guys both that they are the 2023 version of Weasel and Jershega on stage with Blazonczyk many, many moons ago. It's just a fantastic tight horn section. And like you said too, Michael kind of let you just do whatever you want to do. And I think that's the true success of the band, if I have to say so myself, because you guys gel so well together. And, it's the nucleus of the rhythm section that kind of complements the horns and vice versa. And then the vocals. And now I've got to also mention this. Who taught you how to sing Polish?
Oh, so first of all, addressing Mike and Steve, they are my favorite horn section. Those two work so hard trying to perfect their craft, and I give them so much credit. Like they're the perfect example of what you want a musician to be. They're just, if a new musician is starting out and wants to play trumpet, they're just that is such a tight horn section that you can always rely that will be just there, always just punching. And as Jan Simon told Mike when he was a little kid, Mike tells me, Nick and Alex, music is there, but let your mind do the work and your heart sing the song instead of the music being there for you to rely on.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. Reading music is important, but being able to feel the music and play with your heart is even more important than being able to read music.
Amen to that.
For Polish, my mom and my dad both, and even my grandparents, I'm not going to lie, combined effort, because my mom was born in Poland, and the whole family background before my mom was all Polish. So I guess I'm a first-generation American, yeah. And then my dad speaks Polish as well, so his background is very Polish. So whenever I had a Polish song, I would go to my mom and get the words, and then we'd rewrite them if they were a little bit incorrect or something like that. And then my mom would teach me how to read it first. So then reading it a few times, you start picking up on what the accents are, what each letter sounds like, kind of thing. So from then on, you just kind of pick up on it, and then it becomes kind of like muscle memory, and that's how it goes, really. But yeah, mostly my mom, grandparents, and my dad taught me how to sing in Polish. So yeah.
You do a fantastic job, Sebas. You really do. Hey,
thanks, Robin.
Also, I want to ask you this: Who did Sebastian Pucowski idolize as he was growing up? Now, this could be in polka music or any other genre, but who did you idolize?
Right. So definitely Paul McCartney, because so when I was 9 years old or so, I remember playing a video game called Rock Band, and I was like, oh, this is sick. Like, Dad, we need this. And he was like, all right, I'll buy it for you. Fine. So he bought it for me on Amazon, whatever. And he bought me a few games. He bought me like a few Guitar Hero games, but then he got me the Beatles Rock Band. And I was like, what is this? And he was like, trust me, you're going to like it. And so, we played a few songs, didn't really care for it, whatever. But then I remember one family game night, my parents were playing, and I was sitting on the ground watching the TV and hearing Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and something in my mind just clicked, it snapped, and never the same since then. Became like a Beatles maniac, and was just so interested in Paul McCartney specifically, just because his bass lines were so simple, effective. Paul McCartney, I feel like no one could sing like him. It's just, he's unmatchable.
Yeah.
And he just wrote so many great songs, and there was just no way I couldn't try and play bass after hearing Paul McCartney. So I began picking up the guitar and playing bass on the guitar. That was how I started learning to play bass. So I would just sit down, I would buy a Beatles CD from Walmart, and sit down, lock myself in the basement, learn every song on the album. Then my grandpa bought me a bass, and that's how I got my start. He got me a replica of Paul McCartney's Hofner bass. So I used to sit in front of a mirror, pretend I was Paul McCartney the whole night, and I would play every day. So that's how I got my start in basically music, and that just really, that took me off. Paul McCartney was just the driving force behind what I wanted to be musically. He was just king. He was king to me. And then when my dad told me that there was a polka band that played Beatles songs, that's how I got into it. And he took me to see the beat.
Wow.
And now it's like a full circle thing. So now I'm playing with them. It's just the greatest. I love it so much.
Wow. Wow, what a huge story too. Hey, do you have a favorite song that you either like to play or sing when you're on stage?
My favorite song, I would probably say Roving Days or Army Days, just because those, just those two Polish standards. I mean, there's something about a good Polish standard that, like, the feeling behind the singing, it's just, you can change it up. And it's great. So probably Roving Days and Army Days, because it's special to my dad. My dad used to sing it when he was growing up. So the fact that now I get to live it on and sing it, and dedicate it to him, that's a special feeling for me. I enjoy singing for my dad, like that song.
Gotcha. Now, I ask this of everybody. I know you're going to school right now. Do you also have a regular job, or have you had a regular job prior to going to school? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I don't have a job right now. I'm just focusing on school, kind of getting my feet set in the whole mindset of, like, I need to do good in school.
Good for you.
So for now, I'm just doing school and playing with the band. But prior to this, I was a waiter for like 6 months at a local restaurant by my house.
Oh, okay. All right. And how did you like that?
Basically that. I'm sorry, one more time?
How did you like that?
Oh, it was fun. It was good. I mean, it taught me people skills, but it was a tough job. It wasn't easy. I mean, a lot of busy days.
Yeah. Tell us about the studios that you have been in to record. Tell us a little bit about that, because that's a very unique thing. I can remember way back when I first did my first recording with the Trolltones at Wham Productions, which was Peppermint, a Gary Ramian company, with Dave Zahowski. But tell me what it was like to walk into the studio for the first time.
Oh my goodness, it was the most incredible feeling. I mean, you're pulling up and like the anticipation's like setting in, like you don't know what to expect. You don't know what you're about to walk into, what you're about to endure, because, making a recording is not an easy process and it takes a lot of time. And so we were very, like, hyped up, excited, nervous. We walk in and it's just like walls of, like, foam and just the most breathtaking things. It was so great to walk into a studio, and then we got to just, like, let loose, and it kind of became like a second home. Like, we were just there so much, and me and Mike were there a lot, mostly Mike, but I would come whenever I could because I was very interested in, like, the whole process. But going there so often and just being able to sit in the control room with Mike and our sound engineer guy, he's the best, by the way. It was just so much fun, and I'll never forget that experience and walking into the studio for the first time and just trying to take it all in.
Wow. And correct me if I'm wrong with this, but you are the recipient of the Freddie K. Scholarship Award. Was that last year in 2022?
Yes, yeah, that's correct. I got that in 2022.
And how did that make you feel when they announced your name?
Oh, that's a great feeling. It was just really nice. I mean, I can't thank Freddie enough for that opportunity. It was great getting that phone call from him,
Mm-hmm.
And it meant a lot to me. It really did. And it was a special moment at IPA. It really was, to be able to share that with all the guys in the band. And it was just a real great feeling. Real nice.
Wow. Nice. What I always like to ask two more questions here, and I've kept you on. We've got about 4 minutes before 6 p.m. here Eastern time. I don't even know what the ball game has done, because I've really been focused on a lot of this behind the scenes here. Don't tell me I want to be surprised, but I think I'm already going to be surprised anyhow. Do you have any breakdown stories whatsoever? I mean, I know you've been playing on the road a good bit with Costa and the Beat, but even with traveling to different events or different festivals or conventions, do you have a favorite breakdown story, or have you guys been pretty successful and not broke down anywhere?
Yeah, I mean, Mike really keeps his truck in line. We never had any problems. I mean, it's just Mike's just on top of it. We've never had a breakdown. Thankfully. Let's pray to God that doesn't happen in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mike just takes care of it. It's good.
Have you had the opportunity to play on any cruises or any tours outside of the country yet?
Yeah, I mean, I got to sit in with the news one time on a polka cruise in 2016, I think that was. Okay. So that was pretty fun, like being able to play on the cruise. That was a cool feeling. But also being able to play with the beat in Canada, that's been fun. But that's basically the farthest we've ever gone out of the country. So that was cool. Are you talking the
Roncesvalles festival that they have up there?
Yeah, that festival, and as well as the Zawisza wedding back in October, which was a lot of fun. But the Roncesvalles festival, that was just incredible. So many people, just a great time.
Yeah, that is sick, isn't it? I mean,
sick.
You take a look down the street, and you see people for miles.
Miles, Robin. Like, I mean, it's thousands of people. Like, as far as the eye can see, like, it's just people everywhere, and they're all just walking, listening, vibing. Everyone's chilling. It was just such a good time. Great atmosphere.
Yeah, Mr. Gutza and company and everybody who is involved behind the scenes with that does a fantastic job. And
absolutely.
If anybody ever gets the chance, if you haven't attended that, boy, that is one of the biggest festivals around, at least that I've ever attended. I played there with the Concertina All-Stars twice, and that was a lot of fun back then. And man, I'll tell you, again, just awesome. Just a huge crowd. Hey, and now finally, Sebas, I want to ask you this. If you were talking to somebody that just wants to get involved into music, any kind of music whatsoever, any kind of genre, maybe they want to play drums, trumpet, accordion, bass, lead guitar, maybe they just want to sing, what advice would you give them if you sat down and said, here's what I would recommend?
Right. So the first thing I would say is probably get focused on music that you want to play first and learn it. And then once you start kind of getting comfortable with your instrument, then you can delve into really learning the correct technique, scales and whatnot, if you're into that kind of thing. Me personally, I'm not into the whole scale idea. I'm big on, can I sit in the feel of a song and listen and really feel what the band is playing?
Yeah.
I would say is the most important. Can you really just sit in the pocket and explain that feeling, riding the wave, as Jeff calls it?
Oh, that
riding
is huge.
The wave, classic. That nanosecond, just being there and everyone in the group is sitting on it and riding it. You got to find it. That's the best. You got to play music with feel. You can't. It's hard to explain, but got to play with that feel, that heart.
No, you are 100% correct, Sebas. Hey, listen, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you've got studies, you've got all kind of family stuff going on, and probably you sit down and practiced maybe a little bit today. How often do you practice? You yourself, if you're sitting down, how often do you practice?
I try and practice every day, whatever really? I can get my hands on it. At college, I only have my guitar with me, so I'll sit down and practice at least an hour a day. Just play whatever I want to play. Play what happens. Play what I'm feeling, And it's just cool to do that. So probably an hour a day.
Gotcha.
I'd say.
Hey, well, listen, brother, I thank you so much for doing this. Jerry and I want to thank you and love you, buddy. You know that. And just continued success, because whatever you're doing right. And I think you're pointed in the right direction for everything with your musical career, Sebas.
Hey, thank you so much, Robin. I really appreciate it. I love you and Jerry, too, and I can't thank you enough for having me on. Real pleasure to talk to you. You are a legend. You're my hero.
I wouldn't say I'm a legend in my own mind, maybe, but that's about it. Hey, thanks so much again, Sebas. Hey, folks, that was Sebastian Pucowski. Hey, we got another tune that he's going to be singing right now. Jerry's favorite song, as a matter of fact. Here's one called Little Darlin' Polka.
just how much you mean to me. From that first time that I saw you, how I hoped a love could be. Maybe one day we'll get married and raise a family of our own. But until then I'll wait for you, 'cause in my heart you'll have a darling, do you see me when you close your eyes at night? 'Cause I'm dreaming of us together, all alone, it seems so right. Oh, little darling, let me hold you in my arms just one more time. Then I'll tell you I'll wait for you. Maybe then you'll say you're mine.
Michael Costa and the Beat, and that is one called Little Darlin' Polka. Sebas, hey, thank you so much to Mr. Pucowski for taking the time to join me here on a Polkas After Dark on Facebook Live and also on our YouTube channel at Polkas After Dark. We do invite you to stop by there and maybe get a chance to click on the subscribe button. We are slowly, gradually getting up there, and we want to see how many we can get by June of this year. So again, thank you for your participation in all of these events. Hey, let's change it around a little bit. Here's a polka song by The News. Here's one called Looking for a Boyfriend.
Razy kukułeczka, razy kukała. Chłopca pokocha szczerze, to co ja bym chciała. Chłopca co czarne oczy, co czarne oczy ma. Będzie li przyjrzeć mogła. Zakupkaj kukułeczka, zakupkaj jeszcze raz. Chłopiec może usłyszy, pokocha mnie zaraz. I może się zlituje, na biedno dole ma. Szczerze mnie pocałuje, weźmie za żoneczkę.
the News, and boy, we sure miss that band. We wish they were still in existence, but as you guys know, a lot of the guys from the News have left, and they formed a band with a couple of the guys from the Crew Brothers, and we're going to get a song up here by Seven, and here is one called Be My Girl Polka.
Zosiu, moja Zosiu, nie będę ciebie prosił, żebyś moja była, na rączkę bym cię nosił. Żebyś moja była, na rączkę bym cię nosił. Na rączkę bym cię nosił i ładnie odcałował. Spijże moja miła, oj będę w polach orał. Spijże moja miła, oj będę w polach orał.
Yeah, that's the band called Seven. Hey, guys, gals, we want to thank you so much for tuning us in here, Polkas After Dark. We've got about 10 minutes past the hour of 6 p.m. here in the Buffalo, New York area. Yep, that's Eastern Time. We've got a little bit of snow falling, but that's not going to put us down at all. And we have some more folks that we want to say hello to. Susan Matashevich is here. We're also going to say hello to Diane and Lenny Kopka. Diane says, great interview. Thank you guys so much for tuning that in. Marianne Bozinski, she is here. Chris Ebel, once again. We're going to say hello to him. Also to Angela Burnett. She is here. It was great to see her on New Year's Eve. Also, Nicole Hayest. Gosh, he's here. We're going to say hi to Steve Gramala down in Dunkirk, wondering how bad it's snowing down that area. Helen Boback is here. Kim Rozak, hello to you, Kimberly. Sebastian Pucowski says, I'm so glad you got into them, brother. New World of Music. And, okay, that was actually a response to somebody. Cool. Also to Deborah Rutkowski, she's here. And we're also going to say hello to Kelly Grahowski out there in Michigan, as well as Mr. Tyler Jansen. Hello to you. How about a tune by Mr. Joe Oberitis? Here's one called Off to Poland. Hey, let's move things over to the Trell Tones. Take it down Pennsylvania way. Here's Andy and Steve Fennis. Here's one called My Kada Polka.
Joram się do kiedy mówi jedna mówiłaś. Do you know, sweet my lady, I like you very much. Kiedy mo opowiada, say listen Joe, you too drunk, a on nie dużo gada. Never am I Kada, I'm strong. Dużo wódki, kiedy mówi no don't go, co się znów ust postawił. What's the matter, Katie now? Katie mówi ze z wami. Joe, I no more speak to you, a Joe znów stasz tu z wami. I never more come to you.
Hey, let's take it out west a little bit. Here's Everybody's Reaching Out for Someone, PTS, a little bit of Polka Town sound right here on Polkas After Dark.
Just like the trees along the riverbed lift up their branches to the sun above, we spend a lifetime reaching for a friend, 'cause everybody needs someone to love. Everybody's reaching out for someone. Everybody's knocking at some door. And long before I ever found you, you're the one that I was reaching for. I wanted you since the day my life began. I heard your footsteps running just beyond my mind. Ever since that moment I've been reaching for your hand, hoping you'd be reaching out for mine. Everybody's reaching out for someone. Everybody's knocking at some door. And long before I ever found you, you're the one that I was reaching for.
Hey, there's a tune. Everybody's reaching out for someone. Hey, for all the Buzunchek fans, especially Tommy Hoke down there in Uniontown, PA. Here's one for you, Tom, featuring the big man on the vocal, Eddie Buzunchek. And also Junior. Here's one called Bride and Groom Polka.
ojca i syna i Ducha Świętego. Przyjmijcie nas młodzi do serca swojego. Śpiewać, by tu śpiewać, nie wiem to co śpiewać. Boga nie obrazić, ludzi nie pogniewać. Dwa serca związane z tą rzeczką zieloną. Jóżeś ty, Marysiu, jaśniową żoneczką. Dwa serca związane, klucz do nieba święty. Nikt was nie rozłączy, tylko sam Bóg święty. Obejrzy się Mary na nasz polski kościół, boś tam zostawiła swój wianek wiecznością. Obejrzy się Mary na te polskie zwiony, boś tam zostawiła swój wianek nieprzody. Obejrzy się Mary na te polskie zwierząt, wciąż tu nasz tam młodych swój wianeczek wiedzą. Lecą oni wiedzą i nie mogą przywieźć, boś ty go musiała na swej głowce przynieść. Nie płacz Maryś, nie płacz, wianeczka nie żałuj, rzuć wianek pod ławę i ja pocałuj. A ty nasz jadówno, powolno, tak prędko wianeczka ścierać ci nie wolno. Powolnie wybieraj chwileczki ojczyste, żebyś nie stargała włosyczki złociste. Powolnie wybieraj i układaj wszędzie, żeby po wianeczku szafki były wszędzie. Ążeczki, szpileczki, zobacz do szyneczki, bo ci się przydadzą dla mojej córeczki. A ty, panie młody, zobacz swoje psaczka, bo ci się przydadzą dla tego syneczka. Nasza pani młoda, dziecko smakołowa, po świętym za temu nie zawracaj głowa. A ty, panie młody, zafunduj nam wina, niech żyje nam 100 lat, a nasza rodzina.
Oh, yeah, off the live and kickin' recording, recorded at Seven Springs Live in Champion, Pennsylvania. Hey, we're going to say hello to some more people that have just tuned in. Mr. Bob Pucowski, he is here with us this evening. Also, looks like Judy Crayson. Hello to Judy. Gosh, let's see here. We've got some more folks that have tuned in. Carolyn Renee, we're going to say hello to you and Danny Roy. Also to Mike and Tammy Soich. Hey, gosh, guys, you just missed a tune by the Trelltones, your favorite, My Cato Polka. But let's go ahead and bring up another Pennsylvania great. Here's Ray J and the Carousels. Here's one called Reaching Out Polka. Yeah, it's the same tune, but check this version out, guys.
Just like the trees along the river's bend, reach out their branches to the sun above. We spend our lifetimes reaching for a friend, 'cause everybody needs someone to love. Everybody's reaching out for someone. Everybody's knocking at some door. And long before I ever found you, you're the one that I've been reaching for. that's running just beyond my mind. Ever since that moment I've been reaching for your hand, hoping you'll be reaching out for mine. Everybody's reaching out for someone. Everybody's knocking at some door. And long before I ever found you, you're the one that I've been reaching for.
Hey, let's take a walk down memory lane. Here is the G Notes.
Maleńka Halenka, morowa dziewczyna, pobiera mnie śliwka, całować ją. Nie mała, nie dusza, oczkami przymruga, śmieje się jak róża, ha, 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 ha. Bo powiedzenie ona ma szalone, jak chciałbym mieć ją za moją żonę. Maleńka Halenka, morowa dziewczyna, pobiera mnie śliwka, całować ją. maleńka, morowa dziewczyna, pobiera mnie śliwka, całować ją. Nie mała, nie dusza, oczkami przymruga, śmieje się jak róża, ha, 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 ha. O powodzenie ona ma szalone, ja chciałbym mieć ją za moją żonę. Maleńka, haleńka, morowa dziewczyna, pobiera mnie śliwka, całować ją.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an obedic, and you heard the bacon frying as Chainsaw usually mentions, because that was off of an old LP that we had. Hey, here's one again by Michael Costa and the Beat, getting things kicked off here as we slowly come to an end here for Polkas After Dark on a Sunday afternoon. How about one called The Beat Goes On? Once again, we want to say a special thanks to Sebastian Pucowski for allowing us to take some time away from his busy schedule so that we could do an interview. Hey, for Erica Belinda McMaster, she's tuned in. Also, Christine Klima, it looks like Marion and Jan Sikora have joined us as well.
I never thought I'd ever find someone who'd understand me just the way that you do. But I was young, too young to recognize I'd found the love of my life when I found you.
Hey, good evening to Roger Kane.
We had traveled different roads to our destinations now so far apart.
Well, well, well.
Sometimes I think about the road not taken, and if choices I had made were right for me. But no regrets will read my epitaph in life, for what was meant to be will always be. And when I think of you, I'm so glad to know you're happy, 'cause your life is filled with all the love you made. But there'll always be a special place in my heart that will beat a song for you and never fade. The beat goes on and on and on. The beat goes on for you. The beat goes on and on and on. The beat goes on for you. Everybody sing it. The beat goes on and on and on. The beat goes on for you. The beat goes on and on and on. The beat goes on for you.
Broadcast link with a C.com. You're watching Polkas After Dark.
Hi, this is Ryan and Didi O'Grodny in Nashville, Tennessee
And you're watching and listening to our dear friends Robin and Jerry.
on Polkas After Dark.
We love you guys.
Our broadcast link with a C.com. You're watching Polkas After Dark.
I nad moją kołyską matka się sielała i mówić po polsku patrz się nauczyła i mówić po polsku patrz się nauczyła i płynie Wisła, płynie po polskiej krainie zobaczyła Krakopenne w ogóle ginie zobaczyła Krakopenne w ogóle ginie. Ojczyzna i zdrowa ci składa pustolski, a uczyła kochać pierne kraj nasz polski, nauczyła kochać pierne kraj nasz polski. I płynie Wisła, płynie po polskiej krainie, a dopóki płynie Polska nie zaginie, a dopóki płynie Polska nie zaginie.
Oh yeah, a little bit of New Brass Express. Here's something a little bit different for you guys. Here's Freeze Dried, another drinking song.
Gonna haunt the haunt I've haunted like
cure that's never failed me. What you call the disease, I call the remedy. What you call in the cause, I call the cure. Gonna sing a song to you, a song I've sung before. Now that I banded, that I belted out 1,000,000 times or more. The words I'm gonna scream, and getting drunk's the central theme to the lyrics if you can make the lyrics out at all. Counting on a remedy I've counted on before. Going with a cure that's never failed me. What you call the disease, I call the remedy. What you call in the cause, I call the cure. Just a devotion to a potion. Now please no applause. A dedication to a medication, a crutch, a cure, a cause. What I've counted on to pick me up has knocked me to my knees. Before I hit the floor once more, I'll call it the disease. Counting on a remedy I've counted on before. Going with a cure that's never failed me. What you call the disease, I call the remedy. What you call in the cause, I call the cure. Sing a song I've sung 1,000,000 times
off of the revisited recording, Play Musicians. That's one by Wally Dombrowski. Hey, we want to say hi to John Lindner. He is, he says, we're still in Altoona, Pennsylvania, and we were watching the Bills game. Well, unfortunately, the Bills didn't pull it off like we thought they would. but there's always next year. We're going to say hello to Marie Pilars. Marie and Eddie, they're tuned in. Barb Wozniak in also Altoona, Pennsylvania. Gosh, who else do we have here? We've got Bonnie and Tom. We're going to say hi to you guys down in PA. And let's go ahead and as we slowly bring this to a close, here we go with a song by Kevin Adams. Here's one called Do You Love Me, Polka. Hey folks, we thank you ever so much for putting us on. If you've been listening in your car, thanks for the ride. Hey, don't forget next week, Saturday, and then Sunday, we get to talk live with Mr. Larry Walk, polka legend.
Nothing like a Sunday to make me feel so fine. You're right here beside me with my favorite glass of wine. In the background, music's playing, it's our very favorite song. Makes me want to turn it up and smile and sing along. Do you love me? Tell me that you love me. Oh, do you love me? Tell me that you love me. Smile at me, love to say your name. I always want you near me, and I know you feel the same. Oh, I love the life we've lived and every single yesterday. But I can't wait for tomorrow, 'cause I know I'll hear you say, do you love me? Tell me that you love me. Oh, do you love me? Come out to play. I'll hold you close to me, the ending of a perfect day. Ooh, do you love me?
Move over for Matt Lewandowski and the Alliance. Here's one called Hooked on Polka Music.
I finally found my drug of choice, and I know I'll never quit. I'm hooked on polka music, and I might as well admit I crave it several times a day. I never get too much. I feel good when I hear it, so I use it as a crutch. I thought about my habit, and I've yet to find a fault. The price is right, you can't OD, and it ain't against the law. Anything you love this much, I guess, could be a sin. So just in case, I turn to chapter 7 now and then. I wake up every morning and hear my radio come to life with music from the favorite polka show. I know that I'm addicted now, but it's the path I choose. I'm hooked on polka music, it's the only drug I use. I can relate. We might party all day long for 3 days, maybe 4. Be strung out Monday morning when it's back to work we go. I wake up every morning and hear my radio come to life with music from the favorite polka show. I know that I'm addicted now, but it's the path I choose. I'm hooked on polka music, it's the only drug I use. Today there are some dealers that will change the recipe, but I still like it better back the way it used to be. If that old style I grew up with should ever be outgrown, a few of us old timers could still make it on our own. I wake up every morning and hear my radio come to life with music from the favorite polka show. I know that I'm addicted now, but it's the path I choose. I'm hooked on polka music, it's the only drug I use.
Hey, Frankie Lishka on the vocal. We're going to send this one out to Rob Milka, also Bob Saharsky, Dawn Suhan Rogers. She joined us, as well as Dawn Zastavne Ramanzo.
Mary Jane, you are driving me insane. Tell me that you love me, but you're lying. Mary Jane, I still love you just the same. You're gonna break my heart and leave me crying. Mary Jane, znowu kręcić cały dzień. Ty mówisz, że mnie kochać, lecz to bajka. Mary Jane, dalej kocham cię co dzień. Złamała serce me, to będę płakał. Mary Jane, you are driving me insane. Tell me that you love me, but you're lying. Mary Jane, I still love you just the same. You're gonna break my heart and leave me crying. Mary Jane, znowu kręcić cały dzień. Ty mówisz, że mnie kochać, lecz to bajka. Mary Jane, dalej kocham cię co dzień. Złamała serce me, to będę płakał.
To play for you our closing number. We'd like to say dobranoc and goodbye. On behalf of all the rest, we'd like to wish you all the best of happiness and luck forever and a day. We give our thanks for all the memories we've shared in times gone by. So till we meet again, God bless you and goodbye. closing number, we'd like to say dobranoc and goodbye. On behalf of all the rest, we'd like to wish you all the best of happiness and luck forever and a day. We give our thanks for all the memories we've shared in times gone by. So till we meet again, God bless you and goodbye.
Polka band, Eddie Plazanchik's Versatone.